Greetings everyone. This is the English question paper for class 12, SSJ series 1 question. This question, English core term 1. Some questions contradictory in nature. Let us check what are those questions. And the Cbse has to taken certain steps either to eliminate these questions or provide marks to the children. Let's check the questions. Before moving on to the questions, let us check one newspaper. Look at this report. Class 12 tricky English paper leaves many stumped. Friday was trying day for class 12 students who wrote the Cbse English exams. Many of them and their teachers pointed out problems with the questions paper, such as questions with more than one right option in answer and ambiguously worded questions. This made paper challenging to some students. So what are these ambiguous nature of the questions and two option answers? Let us check those questions. This is the reading section. This is somewhat good. Look at the very first question. The author uses the expression treads the fine line to mean. Its meaning is to strike a balance. To strike a balance. But this expression treads the fine line is very uncommon for a class 12 student, because they never ever in their journey up to class 12 they have come across an expression like this, treads the fine line. So it could be avoided. One ambiguous answer is given for question number 23. Select the option with the information points that Manohar has to include in the content of the notice. So let us check the question first. Look at the question. Manohar is the head boy of JM Modern School, Pune. He is asked to put up a notice informing students of board classes about enrichment classes to be conducted by the school. This is the question, and the options are timing of the enrichment classes. Yes, it is a very essential point to be included in the notice. And the subjects, it can also be included. Timetable for the classes. Any one of these is essential. So either 1 or 3 can be chosen. Any one. The need of enrichment classes, no necessary. Consent of parents is not necessary. Dress code is also not necessary. But Cbse provided B as the right option. Look at the options here. First, timing of the enrichment classes. Yes, that is very essential. Subjects, that is also essential. Then fifth, consent of parents. What is the logic behind this is not clear. What is the necessary for conducting enrichment classes? The consent of parents. The children are supposed to be in school. It is not only day school. There are boarding schools also there. So what is the consent? What is the necessity of the consent of parents for conducting enrichment classes? Then what is the necessity of dress code? Every student know how to attend classes. They have a stabilized dress code is there. So these options are not acceptable. So only two options, either 1 or second or 2nd or 3rd. These are the only right options that Manohar can include in the content of the notice. Others are ambiguous in nature. So Cbse should avoid this question. Eliminate this question from the question paper. Now let us move on to the next question. Look at question number 25. Which option would help Vijay with the appropriate organization of relevant ideas for his article? So this question is for choosing the relevant idea for the article. Let us check the question first. Look at the question. Answer any 6 of the 7 questions given below with reference to the content. Vijay is a member of his school Eco Club. As part of Earth Day celebrations, he decided to contribute an article to school magazine advocating the use of solar power as a step to mitigate the energy crisis. This is the question to be answered for article. So come back to the question. Here the first question is title. What title it can be used? Solar power, an excellent alternative resource. Once again, the same title question is asked. Look at question number 28. Select the option that lists appropriate title for the article. Solar energy, the need of the hour. This is also a right question, and this is also solar power, an excellent alternative energy. So repetition of question we can see here in a Cbse board examination question paper. And both the options are right, and it is not ambiguous in nature, but the only thing is repeated the title of the article. Now come to another question. Look at question number 25. Which option would help Vijay with the appropriate organization of relevant ideas for his article? The right option given is C. Man's dependence on energy resources, excessive use of energy by people, leading to crisis situations, the need to switch over, benefits of solar power, presenting a conclusive outlook. This is really not an appropriate organization of the ideas. Look at the question once again. The question asks use of solar power as a step to mitigate energy crisis. The question itself gives significance to solar power. That's why it is put at the front of the question. Solar power, a step to mitigate energy crisis. But the option given by the question setter gives weightage to the energy crisis. Man's dependence on energy sources, excessive use of energy by people, leading to crisis situations, the need to switch over, then benefits of solar power, presenting a conclusive outlook. This is not fair. Look at option number A. Expressing concern over energy crisis. The need to switch over, benefits of solar power, methods of saving energy, presenting a conclusive outlook. Out of these 4 options, A is more suitable than C, the Cbse given question. First, expressing a concern over energy crisis, then the need to switch over, then benefits of solar power, the methods of saving energy. That is more apt for the question than this one. Or it can be option D. Why solar energy is an excellent alternative, free and good for environment, cheaper and pollution free. This is all about solar energy and suggestions to instill solar power, presenting a conclusive outlook. But this answer doesn't contain the energy crisis session. So the most suitable one is A out of these four. So this question also should be considered for elimination. Now come to question number 27. Which quote should Vijay use to sum up the idea of his article? Solar power, wind power, the way forward is to collaborate with nature. It's only way we are going to get to the other end of the 21st century. This option is given as the right option by the question setter or Cbse. But look at the last option. Solar energy is bound to be our future. There is a kind of inevitability about it. According to the question, solar energy is bound to be our future, and there is a kind of inevitability about it. This should be the right answer. Not a solar power, wind power, and the way forward it is collaborate with nature. It's only way we are going to get to the other end of the 21st century. Why such a roundabout, beat the bush way of presenting ideas? Here clear-cut quotation is given. Solar energy is bound to be our future. There is a kind of inevitability about it. We can't. Inevitability means necessity. Necessity of it. So this is the right quote students can choose. So this question also should be considered. Next, come to question number 36. Look at the question. Select the option that explains the appropriate reason for the narrator's embarrassment. She is guilty of giving false hope to the boy. The same meaning question is asked in the very next of the four meanings of embarrassed. Select the option that matches in meaning. Uncomfortable. So the same word embarrassment is repeated twice for two questions. So it should be avoided. Even though embarrassed is not uncomfortable in the situation of the story, it's really she feels sorry for the children. Yet embraced doesn't carry a meaning like a sorry, but in the context, this is the real feeling that the writer felt. Not uncomfortable, but she felt sorry. Then come to question number 40. Look at this question. Select the option that describes the literary device used in the expression. An army of barefoot boys who appear like morning birds. Like morning birds. So simile is the answer given there. Yes, it's okay. But alliteration is also there. Barefoot boys. Repetition of b sound. So alliteration is also the right option. Students should be given mark for those who choose alliteration and those who choose simile. Then come to question number 49. Look at this question. Choose the correct option that describes Sadavo as a perfect son. This question itself is meaningless. How can you define a perfect son? And the right option given is Sadavo went to America as desired by his father. Simply because of desired, he has given this as the right option. But more suitable answers are there in the question. Look at the option number C. Sadavo gained fame as a doctor as well as scientist while his father was alive. This is more suitable than option A. But Cbse has given this as the right option. It should be considered. Look at the passage related with this question. Sadavo knew that his education was his father's chief concern. So his education was his new chief concern. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America to learn all that he could learn of surgery and medicine. He had come back at 30 and therefore his father died. He had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. This is the passage, and it is very clear that his chief concern was his education, and to make him he could be learned of surgery and medicine. So that option is not given as the right one. It should be considered. Either Cbse can eliminate this or change the option. Sadao gained fame as a doctor as well as scientist while his father was alive. That is the right option for this question. Now come to question number 51. Keeping quiet. Through the expression fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, Pablo Neruda expresses his concern for the answer given as cruelty to animals. Really, this poem, Keeping Quiet, is also a poem against environmental destruction. So, fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales clearly refers to environmental destructions also, not only cruelty to animals, but one degree further we can say that it is an environmental destruction. So these two options should be given marks. These are some of the ambiguous questions. These are some of the ambiguous questions found in the Cbse 2021 Term 1 MCQ English question paper. And we discussed here the series SSJ 1. Question paper code 011/4. If you agree with these questions, please comment at the comment box and share this video with the friends till it reach the Cbse people.